My name is James Henry. On camera is David. Sorry, David, there was a tree in the road there. That's very inconvenient. And let me start that again. My name is James Henry and David is on camera. You are on a live safari from the northeast corner of South Africa, the world's most beautiful country. On the other vehicle, Taylor McCaddy is driving far east towards Cheetah Plains. She's accompanied by the diminutive but, well, let's say dominant figure of Willem Dorenbrak, and then out on foot the bearded Bigfoot Tristan. And he, of course, is being filmed by, is he Batman? Batman, of course, covering himself liberally in various anti-insect creams and arachnid creams, because of course he's just had tick bite fever, but he's okay now. In the final control, Louise Pavid is talking to us, and that is almost all the housekeeping, but for to tell you, of course, that the most important part of the show is you. And you must talk to us, please. Hashtag Safari Live is how you do that on this gorgeous Saturday afternoon, where the temperature, I'm told, is 17 degrees Celsius. That does not seem right to me. I'm going to put it at roughly 19, which I think is around 65 degrees Fahrenheit, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, but I don't think I am. Let's head straight across to Taylor McCaddy. I'm heading towards some lions, hopefully on Arathusa, and when I see you next, hopefully we'll have the kitties with us.
Good afternoon, everybody, and of course welcome to a very cloudy sunset safari. Well, no sunset this afternoon, I doubt. If we get one, I'll be super surprised and happy, actually. I'll be really happy about that. But my name is Taylor Mac something that James has given me today. I'm not sure which new nickname I've got. And then, of course, on camera with me bringing you all the most incredible things is VM. There he is, hiding behind the scenes there. McCaddy, was that it? Taylor McCaddy. I don't even know what that one is supposed to mean, but okay, we'll take it. It's better than some of the other nicknames that James has given me. He's given me a couple. Now, of course, as I mentioned in the pre-drive, if you did join us, is that we were going to hopefully find some elephants to start the day off. So first things first, let's come on over to Treehouse Dams, which over the last couple of days seems to have been flourishing with elephants. Right. Vim, do you think we're going to get lucky today? Absolutely, from Vim. Positive. No, I was going to give you positive Patricia you are today, but no, that doesn't really work. But anyways, and it looks like no elephants here. But if you have got any questions for us or pictures that you'd like to share, hashtag Safari Live on Twitter is the only way to get hold of us. And of course, we'd love to hear from you. Ah, here we are. I lied. There's not nothing. There is a blacksmith lapwing. There's actually two blacksmith lapwings here, Mr. and Mrs. Blacksmith. They are frequent, actually they're residents here at this dam. There's often, everywhere you go, every dam you go to, you will find a pair of blacksmith lapwing, as well as at the moment also many, there's the other one. Oh, and a three-banded plover too. Look at that, a bonus. And of course many monotonous larks, as you can hear in the background. Isn't that beautiful? This little guy's chasing after insects that'll be living close to the water. Though I can't imagine too many of them will be active today, as it is quite chilly. Even the flies this afternoon, touch wood, don't seem to be out and biting, but I'm sure it's only a matter of time. Get any other cool ones? Some weavers flying around, but they're too quick for us. Right, let's go this way. Let's go back down towards Twin Dams and try the other watering hole. Though as we've seen on the cooler days, it seems as though the elephants prefer to have midnight swims rather than day swims. So we might have to come back here a little bit later and check out these pools, elephant swimming pools. I suppose that's exactly what they are. My goodness, there's so many birds here. Fly, birds, fly. Right, if we don't find any elephants, we'll probably do a birding day. Might be quite interesting on Cheetah Plains, but I haven't got much to show you just yet, but hopefully I will. Let's go across to James, who has found, well, one of the tallest animals out there.
One of the tallest animals out there, yes indeed. Giraffe tipulskirchi. No, that's the one in East Africa. This is Giraffe camelopardalis, and it's got a big fright. That's interesting. I wonder if Shadow's lurking there. Hang on, let's just go forward. Or maybe a lion. Or maybe it just stood on a thorn. That giraffe has just come across from Arathusa, and it was a little bit nervous while it was running when it saw us. Unfortunately, there is something akin to a very large bus driving from behind us right now at great speed. Let us move off the road. This person has the road manners of an ill-educated ape. Go away! Excuse me, everybody, that really is not very good road manners at all. Now, the giraffe was standing here, and then it took off at a great speed. That doesn't make any sense. It was... What have you got? The giraffe's still running. I don't know that I've ever seen this before. Unless there's something... Let's just keep an eye on him. Let's just watch him there and see what he does, if he takes off again. While you do that, I'm going to just scan the odd termite mound, any high points where there could be a leopard lurking. Still there, David? Just walking down the road now. Perhaps he's just full of the joys of autumn. I don't think I've ever seen that. Maybe he wasn't running from us after all. Maybe he was very offended by the driving manners of that other car. All I heard from behind me what sounded like an earthquake beginning. I looked behind and that enormous bus was bearing down. I thought we were done for, David. And then the slightly... Well, it was a fairly aggressive look the driver gave me as he went off. His passengers looked terrified, however. They've clearly been going at that speed over the roads for some time. I think they've just come from the airport, and whatever transfer company they booked to take them to Arathusa, I suspect will not be booked on the way home. No. So, no, I don't know what that giraffe's problem is. Anyway, let's just keep going. And yes, as Louise says, maybe they were late for afternoon drive. Well, that's absolutely true. No one wants to miss out. Firstly, on the cake and tea that you have before your afternoon drive. Then, of course, the actual safari, followed closely by drinks and snacks. Thereafter, drinks at the lodge. Thereafter, a meal fit for a king. Thereafter, a coma from that food and drink. He headed across to Tristan, managed to find himself a cameraman, shoes, and he's now walking around.
Indeed, I have managed to find Craig. He was hanging upside down with his wings over his head, hiding from the sun, which is not even here today. Now, my name is Tristan, and on camera today, as you may have noticed, is Craig the Batman, and he's going to be shooting all the wonderful little things we're going to look for this afternoon. Now, it's going to be a very interesting afternoon. As James and Taylor have both commented, it's quite cool this afternoon. Clouds are overhead, and it's windy, so it's not going to be a very pleasant afternoon for all the little creatures. The insects are really not going to be too active this afternoon. We'll find that even the butterfly activity will be less than what we've been seeing the last few days, so it might be quite an interesting afternoon to see what we can find. The good thing is, though, in weather like this, is that a lot of the birds will be down on the trees, so it might be good for a birding afternoon. And Herbie also wants to try and see if we can find some elephants, so I think that's going to be the plan for this afternoon. Now, there is a European roller, talking about birds, that I've just looked over my shoulder, sitting on top of that tree over there, so just having a nice rest on the tree. Like I was saying just now, with this cooler weather, a lot of the birds are going to be down and sitting on the tree. Now, I believe Taylor McCurdy wants to find birds this afternoon as well. Thank you for that, Lou. Maybe we should challenge Taylor. I reckon It's going to be difficult because she's going to Cheetah Plains, and Cheetah Plains has lots and lots of birds these days, but it will be quite good to challenge her anyway. We'll be on the walk, which is a little bit tougher, but I reckon we can take her. What do you think, Craig? You reckon? I reckon. So let's challenge Taylor. Let's see how many birds we can get by the end of the drive between the two of us, who comes out on top. And all of you out there that are watching can monitor which birds we get and then let us know towards the end of drive by using the hashtag Safari Live. It will be great to see who wins, because we were running a competition but Taylor's forgotten about it, and so now we sit in a situation where nobody knows where we stand. I don't even know where we are at the moment, but anyway, it was still fun while it lasted. So let's reignite that today and do a afternoon birding challenge between Taylor and myself. Now, like I say, it's amazing already just walking. So I walked yesterday morning or the day before, I can't even remember now, but it was a few days ago, and there was insect life everywhere. There was butterflies flying around, insects fluttering about, and today very, very little. So I want to go and try and maybe also check on my butterfly chrysalises at Treehouse Pan and see how they're doing. That might be quite cool to go and look at and see if they've grown any more than yesterday. And talking about plans and what we're going to be doing and birding, I think let's go across to the challenger herself, Miss Taylor J.B. McCurdy.
No, Tristan, you are too naughty. Goodness gracious, giving away secret nicknames here. That's unacceptable. I won't stand for it anymore. But yes, I shall take you on your challenge. Let's see if we can find a bird here. Now, of course, watch, we won't see any birds until we get to Cheetah Plains, of course. Oh, I can hear hornbills. Can hear them in the background, as they always do. Oh, I've got one, but it's far away. What is that up there? Can you see on that dead tree, VM? Or is it too far away? Oh no, that's perfect. That is a turtle dove. We have got bird number 1 for the day. Now, I'm going to try and keep count to the best that I can. But there we go. A little turtle dove sitting on a tree. Right, let's see another one. Because it is difficult for Tristan to get birds on bushwalk. You can imagine it's one thing having the camera mounted to the vehicle and you're able to twist and turn. And you're also, your weight is not in your hands, of course. But it's terribly tough. So Craig, good luck to you today. Because VM is on form. Hey VM? Ain't that right? You know, I don't know why I snapped. I felt like being quite sassy, so I don't know. I don't know if that worked. We'll pretend we never did it. Right, let's keep searching for some birds. I'm also listening to the Eastern Channel just to have a look. A little listen to find out if there's anything happening. Of course, to see if I can get an update on Karula and the cubs too. I know the cubs have been seen around, so hopefully we'll hear something about them a little bit later. Now I'm just scanning desperately, looking for as many birds as I can find, because it's quite a long drive through some little patchy parts before we get to Cheetah Plains. There's a little water system, a little dam. Maybe we'll have something here, maybe an Egyptian goose. Nope. I can hear a monotonous lark though, but we'll save that because I'm sure we'll get lots of them a bit later. No, nothing. Okay, let's keep going then. Not having very much luck at all down here, are we? Naturable, you're wondering where the secretary birds are? Exactly, I ask myself that question every single time I go to Cheetah Plains, because I have seen them there once, but it wasn't while we were live. We were doing a rehearsal with Nat.Geo, and which is a pity, but it was really cool otherwise. So we'll check. I'll check the spot. Come on, Laughing Dove, sit down. VM, can you see it over there? Let me go forward again for you. Just on the tip of that marula. Well spotted, VM. There we go. Laughing Dove, bird number 2. So we've got the 2 most common doves. Now we just need to get the emerald spotted wood dove, which I have no doubt we'll see this afternoon, particularly at Cheetah Plains. Where is your mate? That's one thing that I've noticed a lot of, is that the laughing doves have been pairing up much later than the turtle doves and the rest of the birds that have already made or formed bonds between their partners, built nests, laid eggs and reared chicks. They're only just getting started. I've seen 2 different laughing dove nests now, so it'll be nice to follow up on a couple of them today. Now all I can see is doves everywhere, which is a pity. Right, so secretary birds for naturable. we'll keep searching for them, and I definitely will hopefully find some. That'll be spectacular. Tristan will never be able to outcompete with the secretary bird, and I think he knows that. But we'll keep on searching. Of course, we're going to head all the way to Cheetah Plains now. James has just arrived at Arathusa. I wonder if those Birmingham boys are still going to be around.
Hello everybody, again. We're on Arathusa now. It's getting a little bit chillsome. Maybe it is slightly cooler than 65 degrees Fahrenheit. We're heading towards the airstrip. Our heart rates have gone down after being nearly mowed down by that injudicious applicator of the accelerator that came past us. More suited, of course, to the Formula 1 or IndyCar circuit than the game drive circuit, I feel. I'll suggest it to him, if I ever see him again. He was going so fast I wouldn't recognize him. We're nearly at the airstrip where we're hoping to find the Lions, I mean. I'm also secretly, of course, I'd like to see the lions, but I know pretty much, or I'm pretty sure that they'll be lying about doing not much. But that jackal sighting that Tristan had today of the jackals and the impala, well, I was rather hoping for something of a repeat. So maybe we'll be lucky with that. It really is a very ominous afternoon, and I think we're going to be using the spotlight from about 6 o'clock. I suspect Tristan will be home in time for tea rather than drinks, because it's going to get dark very quickly indeed. I'm interested that they've chosen to do a bird challenge today, given the weather, but I suppose the weather will be the same for both of them. It's interesting also, a lot of people think that and Tristan I'm sure is not one of these, but many people think that doing birding on foot must surely be better than doing it in a vehicle, because there's less noise, you can probably get closer to trees and that sort of thing, but actually it isn't, because the vehicles tend to affect birds, many birds, in the same way that they affect the animals, and the animals the mammals. So they don't really react to the vehicles too much, and so you can get pretty close and you can stop and listen and move up and down. Whereas if you're on foot, of course, birds react in much the same way as they do to the mammals. They see us as a predator and they fly off. Otherwise, there's not a huge amount going on Arathusa right now. Plenty of elephant tracks, plenty of laughing doves. Anyway, now were they this side of the airstrip, David? David is directing us. How long, David, do you think it was before you would have been able to find the Arathusa airstrip on your own? About a month. Fair enough, fair enough. I think it may have taken me even longer, because unless I'm actually doing the driving, I find finding a direction completely impossible. Right, our first thing we're going to look at here is a bird, a large bird with a white back. There it is. It is a white-backed vulture with a dove above it, a Cape Turtley dove, or ring-necked dove. Very nice. Well, not the best white-backed vulture sighting, is it, David? On account of the fact that the tree's in the way. Well. Right, well, I don't want to hold people off the massive birding challenge that's going on foot and on Cheetah Plains, so we're going to go across to Tristan, who seems to have a bird that sings in a way that is not with variety.
Well, yes, we do have the monotonous lark, but what you are looking at there is the southern white-crowned shrike. So they are sitting a little bit further away, and there it is, departing from the scene. And then the monotonous lark you can hear calling away on the top of that dead tree. So there it is, sitting, making its usual call that we've been hearing so much over the last few days. And you can see on foot is that we can't get anywhere near as close as we would with the vehicle. So from here, we have to stop because they keep flying ahead of us. So it's going to be quite challenging, but when challenging the Australian McCurdy, it's better to try and give her a bit of a head start so that it's a fair fair contest. I know that's not really true, but we'll just give her a little bit of trouble anyway and keep her on her toes this afternoon. She's been very loud in camp today, so I think we need to get her a little bit of trouble and give her a little bit of a sort of stab and kind of make her get a bit of pressure on her. So we'll see how it goes. But it's already 3 birds. Ooh, Sharon, a black-bellied bustard on foot. That's going to be quite tough, but I'll try my best. Taylor's actually going to be a lot easier for her to get it because she's going to be heading into areas where there's quite a few of them. So once you go down towards Cheetah Plains, lots of red-crested corans and black-bellied bustards there. There's a black-bellied bustard on Cheetah Cutline, but that's very far from here. But we'll try, we'll see. I know there's also one that hangs around on Philemon's Cutline, so I'll go and have a look there. Maybe we get lucky with it. There's also another one that hangs off just to my western side here on a big open area. So we'll go and check around and hopefully we'll be able to find it for you. But like I say, Taylor, that's 3. What's the count, Lou? What's Taylor on? She on 2, 1 or 2. So we'll catch them eventually, I think, or take over. It's just going to be difficult to get a lot of variety because at the end of the day, Taylor's going to be covering so much ground. She's going to be going through riverbed systems. She's going to go through grassland areas, whereas on foot we're going to be sort of stuck in one place. So we're going to have to really bird our socks off to win this challenge, but it'll be a worthwhile challenge nonetheless. Now I'm just looking as well for any signs of tracks as we go. It's good afternoon to show tracks too, and also how wind disturbs tracks. So a lot of the tracks that was made this morning after all the wind that we've had during the day today will have blown a little bit, and you can actually then see how wind disrupts them and how it changes the context of the track and how you see a different texture to it. So I'll try and see if I can find some nice ones from this morning that I saw, and then we'll have a look at them and we'll see how they are this afternoon. Other than that, I don't know. I think maybe also I want to go and just check just south of the hyena den, because I think there's possibly another den somewhere around there. So I've been wanting to do that for a few days, and it's close to where the butterflies are at Treehouse Dam, so I want to go and maybe have a look around there and see if there's any sign. Also, I know that James and Taylor haven't been anywhere near Treehouse Dam today, so it'll be good if we can head that direction. Sorry, Lou, I didn't hear you very nicely there. It came through a bit static, but I know you said Debbie and you said what bird, but I couldn't hear the rest. So, ooh, Debbie, what is the easiest bird to approach on foot? Probably the hornbills in camp. The hornbills in camp are very relaxed. They're so used to us walking around and stuff that they don't really move too much. But out here in these kind of areas, not really many of them. Most of them will be quite skittish and shy. And most of them will see you coming and then just move to the next bush and keep a sort of safe distance. There's not too many that sit very still. I've found that sometimes vultures, you can get quite close to them before they fly. Sort of larger birds, particularly in conditions like this, because there's not too many thermals that are rising off the land today. The birds of prey are going to struggle a little bit with being able to get that thermal energy and be able to then rise on it. So they tend to be down on the trees, and when you walk up, they don't really worry too much, and you can get quite close to them. I'm just trying to think what else. Also, a lot of the birds that are quite shy and reclusive in thickets, so as you walk through thickets you disturb them, and they kind of often will try and use the tactic of sitting very still to camouflage and that they don't attract attention to themselves. So things like the puffbacks, the chin spot batis, greenbacked Cameropteras, those kind of things will be all sort of hidden away, and you can get quite close to them. The problem is though that often you don't actually see them, and they just then see them bursting away from in front of you. Right, so we're going to carry on our mission and see what we can find and see how this all goes and if we can find some more birds. And while we do that, let's go to James and see how he's doing on his lion expedition to the west.
I'm doing very, very well, everybody. We've found the lions. They're just on the other side of the airstrip, flat as you like. Never mind, we will go to them as soon as we can. I've just got to get round the other side of the airstrip, and I was hoping that we might see the jagalas this side. Those are the jackals, by the way. And there are lots of impala here. They, unlike the lions, are doing productive things like eating. Unlike Connor and Rebecca at the moment in camp, everyone, they are fasting. Why are they fasting, you might say to yourself? Well, that is a mystery no one can really answer. There we have the impala, who are not fasting, thankfully, for they would surely die if they were to go onto a fast. And these males seem to be still friendly with each other. Good grief. Sorry, the game drive radio exploded in my ear. You know what? I think we're going to just move on a little bit from here because I want to get to those lions before 75 other game drive vehicles descend on this area, which I think they probably will. Is this a big dippy? It's all right, David. Hold on tight. We'll be okay. I believe in us. There we go. So we'll come back and maybe try and see the jakalas. Let's go and look at the lions for now. And I suspect the Arathusa guys are not here because, well, we know where their guests are, don't we? White-faced, ashen-faced, currently sitting in their rooms, shaking like this after their transfer in from the airport. Now, having a stiff apple juice, as Louise says. Exactly. Stiff apple juice. Yes, I can tell that these lions have eaten recently on account of the fine aroma that surrounds them. Now, where are the little baby lions? I only see big lions. No, they're the little baby lions. There we are. Now, I'm not sure how long we're going to have here, so we'll enjoy them while we can. And I was told today by Tristan that there were 3 females. Oh, it's the Styx cubs, of course, sorry. It was the 2 females and 3 males. Nena, Mfumo, and Tinyo. And the sort of model-esque figure that is Nsuku has been missing. And apparently there was a 3rd lioness. Yes, is that right? Should there have been a 3rd lioness? Yes, there are 3 in the Styx Pride. Go ahead. Sorry, go again. Sorry, I'm just going on the radio. Okay, copy that. I did call in. Sorry, I obviously didn't transmit. If you need me to leave, just let me know. There we go. Oh, they're looking so much better, aren't they? Remember the last time I saw them? It was very hot. And when was it? It was hot and on Leadwood Drive, and they looked dreadful. They looked manky. They didn't look like they were going to survive. And now look at them, fat-bellied. Oh, and look, well, the best part of that view is that it seems that the mange has disappeared from them, which is good news. There are, I mean, you know, it's so long since I've seen the Styx Pride that I'm not entirely sure. How old are these cubs now? They must be probably about 3 months. No, they must be more. They must be about 4 months old, actually. They're very tired, obviously. They ate something delicious during the course of the night. And the 3 males I haven't seen for goodness knows how long. And I wonder where the other male typically has gone off with the female. And I suspect, David, they were looking for some privacy. Well, hoping to make some more lions for the Styx Pride. And quite possibly headed off towards whatever carcass there was. Now there's one more vulture in the trees. Oh, it's not even a vulture, David. That's quite an interesting bird. What is that? It is a vulture. It is a hooded vulture in the tree there. He, of course, has the worst job in the world. He has the worst diet of any animal I've ever seen in my life. His diet consists of lion scat. Can you imagine a fate worse than that? Imagine being born and told that your diet was going to be lion scat. and I think you've hit on a wonderful idea. I'm going to donate the birds I see to various members of the bird extravaganza going on here. So I think we'll give this first bird, the hooded vulture, I think because it's smaller, we'll give that one to Taylor. And I think we'll give Tristan the white-backed vulture. Okay? Good idea, Anne. Now, of course, I have to try and be fair, because otherwise I'll be in a deep amount of trouble. Now, if we go the little cub on the flat end, there we go, the flat end. I don't know what that meant, but you know, that you understood. There is that mange there, or the remnants of it, on the skin, but it seems to be fine. Seems to be no problem at all. They've really been through a tough time, these chaps. Remember, talk to us, #SafariLive. You can send us your questions and comments. You may even send us your demands, which we may or may not adhere to. Send them in the form of a request, though. They've got much more chance of having them acceded to then. And we'll try and find those jackals a little bit later, and I think we'll also probably try and see if we can't find some shadow tracks. But, you know, shadow being a shadow, she's not easy to find. Now, I'm quite interested in where the Birmingham boy that I haven't seen for so long is. That's Nsuku. He who looks so very like a model. I'm not sure who that is there. I think that's probably Nana. It is. How do you know that, David? Ah, he's got the mohawk. Good. What I look for in him is... No, who's got the notch out of his ear? It's Tinyo. There. Well, in his right ear, I think. Anyway, Tinyo's easy to see. So is Mfumo, on account of the fact that he has a hole in his head that has... Well, it's kind of healed over, but it'll leave a big scar. And interestingly again, Mfumo seems to be off mating, and I think he unusually is the most dominant of this group. Now we do have a little bit of time here, but we will have to move when the Arathusa vehicles get here. Well, RC in Netherlands, I mean, you say how will the Styx or the Nkuhumas react to the smell of the Styx pride on the Birmingham boys? Well, RC, how does a wife react when her husband arrives home smelling of another woman? You know, I mean, it's a dire situation. I think divorce lawyers will be called in. There'll be fighting and slapping and general upheaval. RC, I actually don't know. I think I would imagine that they probably could smell them, wouldn't you say? I mean, if these Birmingham boys were to fraternize with the Styx cubs and the pride for, you know, any length of time, and then see the Nkuhumas fairly soon thereafter, then yeah, I guess you would expect them to be able to smell it. And how would they react? I don't think they react at all. I don't know, other than to perhaps pick up the smell and maybe keep their distance a little bit from the Birmingham boys for the brief time that it takes for that scent to sort of go away until they're sure that the other lionesses aren't around. That's actually a really interesting question, and I'm pretty sure they must be able to tell that these chaps have been, well, philandering away from home. But of course, these lions quite enjoy it. The lionesses, quite enjoy it when the males philander away from home, because it means they don't have to feed them. And I really think that the number of times I've watched lionesses kill something and then hear males calling in the background, and they do, you know, the males call in the background and the lionesses specifically don't call back. I think it indicates that they're not necessarily always that keen to be around the males. Right, Taylor is into the bird challenge. She's got 3 birds of the same species, and they look like they've got an injury to the patella.
They do indeed, especially when they're holding one leg up. We have got 3 water thicknees sitting in a row, perfectly camouflaged against the dark soil and just hiding under a bush willow. I don't know why they're hiding under the bush willow today. It's not like there's any sun, so they actually could be a little bit more active, but water thicknees are predominantly nocturnal. However, they do move around, but there's many birds here. Now, I have to mention to you, earlier we saw 2 species of birds. We also saw a blacksmith lapwing and a 3-banded plover, but because Tristan hadn't started the bird challenge yet, out of good sportsmanship, we shall show you those birds again. Oh no, where did where did they go, VM? There's the blacksmith. Now, because I was watching so carefully on the monitor, there is also a 3-banded plover running around here, but there's the blacksmith lapwing, so we're on 4 birds now, eating something delicious. And I don't see misses, I just see 1 blacksmith lapwing for the moment. Perhaps the other one has gone to the shops to get some milk. Oh no, I can see it, but it's quite far away. So no, it hasn't gone to the shops to get any milk. It is somewhere else. Right, and then there's another really cool bird that I want to show you, but it means that I must move a little bit. I don't think if I go forward we will see it. Let me try. Maybe. I'm going to have to almost drive in the water though, VM. No. Okay, we're not going to see it. Let me go back. It's a big bird, also sitting at the water. Now, I hope it doesn't fly away. Just got to see where we can get a gap quickly. Oh, are there 2? Was it just still that one that I'm seeing? Then we're going to have to go quite far back. It's over there by the tree. Hang on, can you get it through that little gap, or are you too high? Okay, watch the space, watch the space. Aha! Okay, we'll stop there for now. We'll see if we can get a better view. But that is a grey heron that you are all looking at. Possibly waiting for some fish to come towards the surface of the water. And we were lucky, we saw that juvenile black-headed heron with James, which was very special to see. And there's, it's actually really interesting how birds sort of change from area to area, because down in the Eastern Cape, you'll never see a black-headed heron in water. I've never saw them, maybe wading through the grasslands, so like a sort of marshy area, but other than that, I never saw them. They liked the long grass and were often catching snakes and rats and mice and gerbils and other types of creatures too. Oh, VM, let's see where it's going to land. There was a hornbill, there it is, that counts. It is a yellow-billed hornbill, all fluffed up, nice and cold on this chilly autumn afternoon. So that's another bird species, and that's what's so great about Cheetah Plains, is that there is so much bird life around here. We're quite lucky. I really want to get a better shot of this bird. Let me try, Vim, I think if we maybe... what are we going to do? We're actually pretty trapped, eh? We don't really have anywhere to go to see this bird. But it is such a beautiful view, a beautiful reflection on the ground. I think we should try. Let me go back a little bit more. Let's see if I go back. Yeah. There we go. Not great, but this is, I suppose, the best that we can do. Now, Louise, I don't know, can you hear me? Just double checking that I'm still hearing Louise, because I wasn't hearing her say anything, which is, again, unusual. But yes, the grey heron. And, beautiful. Look at the lovely long feathers on its chest. I actually don't know what the function of those very long feathers are down over there. Maybe when they sit on their chicks, maybe it helps them keep warm, but that's quite interesting. Something I'll have to have a look at. And I've got a massive bird book. It's like a bird Bible. It is huge. I don't actually have it here. It's sitting in Johannesburg, and it's massive. It's probably the size of my case. It's my camera case. It's so big, and that will have plenty of information about the function of the various feathers, so we'll have to have a look at that. Look how it's standing dead still. And you can see, as it sort of closer and closer, you'll see ripples against the surface of the water. Now, it could be a number of different things. It could be catfish, it could be frogs, it could be tilapia, it could be the terrapins. But something like this won't go for a big terrapin. It will definitely go for some hatchlings. It'll definitely snatch those up. Look at it, dead still. It almost looks like it's getting ready to pounce. And this is one of my favorite things. Ooh, something's getting very close. Something's getting very close indeed. I think if we keep watching, we may actually see it spear its beak into the water and hopefully catch a fish or a frog or something along those lines. A nice tasty treat. But they're the most fascinating birds to watch, I find. Birds that fish. And one of my favorites are actually hammerkorps, which are these brown birds with sort of a hammer shape back to the back of their head and make some of the largest nests in the world. And they're incredible. I used to watch them. They often like to fish in sort of where there's a bit of white water, so there's a little bit of a rapid and the small fish are passing through. And you'd see them catch them like that. It was really quite cool. Otherwise, watching a heron as it slowly repositions its feet. Look at that. Not even a ripple on the water. How incredible is that? I bet you and I could never do that, not make a ripple. And that's absolutely phenomenal. See, there's lots of things going on over there. There must be lots of little fish swimming around. Come on, you can do it, bird. And this is where patience comes in, of course. And ideally, you want to be sitting at a photographic hide, eye level to this bird, so that you can capture that moment that it does catch a fish of some sort or a frog. And a friend of mine, Brendan, he's a phenomenal photographer, and he used to work at a place in the Durban area, so KwaZulu-Natal on the east coast of South Africa. And this particular reserve has got the most unbelievable world-renowned bird hides that you are eye level at, and he has got some fantastic photos from spending hours and hours. And there's one particular one of a stork catching a massive fish. I'll see if I can pull that up. It's really quite a cool one to have a look at. And there's just so many different things. I think, birding is not for everybody, but definitely once you get into it, it's really fun. Now, hello Debbie from Vancouver. You're wondering if we've seen any storks now that we have lots of water. It's funny that you say that. I would have thought we would have seen an influx, definitely in black storks and of course yellow-billed storks, but I haven't seen any actually. Not even the saddle-bills are back, though I'm surprised because the Buffelshoek Dam now would be too deep for a saddle-billed stork, but there's definitely endless opportunities. There's all those wetland areas that they can hang around in. Treehouse Dam is alright, if you go sort of towards the western end of the dam, that's perfect. That's not too deep at all, and it's nice and marshy. There'll be lots of frogs, lots of food around at the moment, so who knows? Perhaps they're at another area where the water is better, and maybe once those areas start to dry up, they'll come towards us. So Debbie, that'll be something for us to look forward to, I suppose, the return of the storks. Well, we're going to see if we can get a better view of this heron, and hopefully it's going to catch something for us. But Tristan has taken a break from the birding, and he's gone and sort of finding plants on the ground.
I do indeed. I've got a wild bean, or cowpea is what it's called. Sorry, it's just blowing in the wind, so I'm trying to just hold it. And it is a beautiful little flower. They've really only come up in the last few days after the rain. And I've been looking for them all over this afternoon. There were so many. Let me move that for you. There you go, Craig. There were so many when the sun was out, and today it seems like they've all disappeared. So this is at least one left. And you can see here, this is where the little bean is that is growing off the actual stalk. So there we go again. Now it is used for burns. I'm not exactly sure how. Just one of the trackers that I worked with told me that they use it for burns. So I would imagine that they probably crush down the leaf and then they pack it on. That's normally what happens with burns, or they break down the root in some way and mix it up with the leaf and then they put it on. But I'm not 100% sure, so I need to actually research that a little bit more. But like I said, a tracker did tell me. But while I was looking at the flower, there are so many little insects on this little patch of Waltheria that we're standing in right now. We first of all can start with the beautiful spider that we have here. Now, this is one of the orb webs. Sorry, Craig, I know the wind is playing havoc today with little things. It's really quite difficult. But this is one of the ungulate orb webs. So they're quite common. You see them quite a bit on these leaves. A lot of the spiders use the Waltheria because it's quite a long leaf, but it's very supple, so they can create this funnel that you see here that allows them to be able to hide inside there away from predators and not be eaten. And the other thing that attracts them to this is the amount of prey animals that we have here. So you can see all over them are these Acrea caterpillars. So these are the ones that James was growing for a while, and I know he looked at one of them under the microscope. And it's amazing how much color they've got under those microscopes, and those spikes are really quite interesting. So they are a lot sharper than what they look, and a lot harder than what they look like when you just see them through the camera or look at them in real life. But these guys are feeding off the leaves, and you can see they're also going towards where there's these little buds and the flowers are starting, which is quite cool. Now there was also an assassin bug here somewhere, but now I've lost it. Craig, I don't know where it went. It was here somewhere, but maybe it's flown away. They do move quite a bit, but it's gone, unfortunately. It was a really beautiful one. It had bright oranges and blacks, which is typical of the assassin bugs. They all have them because it's all a coloration to tell everybody that they are dangerous. And I know James was fiddling with one yesterday as well. And you've got to be a bit careful with them. They've got that proboscis that if it goes inside you is not very pleasant at all. They often will try and inject that venom that they have into you, and it's very, very unpleasant. Now, Miss McCurdy is at a waterhole, which is not good for us on foot because it means that she is going to be racking the birds up as she is, and she's way in the lead. So I might have to head to a waterhole to try and start matching her bird count. But apparently she's got a heron that is displaying her favorite behavior.
We do indeed. We've been watching this heron now, and since you've been gone, and I'm not talking about the Kelly Clarkson song, but it has not moved at all. It has literally stayed in exactly the same spot. Very, very, very still. And surely, the longer we sit here, the better chance we're going to have of seeing it catch something. I haven't seen a bird catch a fish in such a long time, so I thought that we might as well spend a bit of time. I know you watched it with James. It was yesterday. Yes, you were watching that heron fish yesterday, which was quite spectacular, which was really nice. So I feel like I would like to see the same thing today. Whether it's going to happen or not, that is an interesting accent that popped out of my mouth, I'm not certain, and we'll just really have to wait and see. And this is really cool, to be able to sit here at a dam all by yourself, not another vehicle in sight or to be heard, which is actually why I'm really enjoying this. And I find that a lot on Cheetah Plains. It's very quiet down here, and I love the quiet areas. I like searching where nobody else has gone to. But let's take a little break from our heron. No, hang on. No, it just zoomed in onto something. Here we go. Looks like it wanted to launch forward. And I think it must be incredible to be able to use those long legs, launch forward and grab something without plopping themselves in the water. So you'll see the herons opening up their wings to try to help stabilize themselves. The storks often do the same thing. Come on, catch it. Whatever it is, whatever you are after. You can just see it's just scanning the water's edge. It's definitely focused in on something at the moment. It looks like it wants to make another move. Go on. No. And it has to be very careful with how quickly it does move, because just the slightest ripple on the water surface or even a shadow that is cast. Ah, get it! Did you get it? Yes! It's a catfish! Oh, wow, that paid off. That was so exciting. Wasn't that wonderful? Now, not a particularly big meal, but definitely a nice appetizer or amasbush for, this beautiful heron. Come on, gobble that up. That's an easy one. Making sure it goes head first. Wasn't that delicious? Now, James said that yesterday the bird was clapping because it was happy, and it obviously can't clap with its hands. But I think when they do that clattering, they're going nom 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 nom. That was delicious. And I'm sure it's going to have a sip of water. No, it's going to fly away. Perfect. What a fantastic show that heron put on for us. Now it's going to go and find a new fishing spot, as that one, well, it's been foiled now. We're going to go back across all the way to Arathusa, which is far away from Cheetah Plains, to James and the Birmingham boys.
Hello everybody. Yes, here we are, still here. A lion has got up, which is astounding, of course. A great relief for all of us to see. I've just taken a picture of him. It's utterly, utterly hopeless. Anyway, we'll now enjoy the brief moment of activity that we have here. I always love seeing them sort of reaffirming their little bonds there. It's always so nice. And then a stretch, and then a lie down, and all the action is over. Oh well. What can one do? Geeky Bet? Geeky Bet, hello. Good afternoon to you. Did you lose a bet? Oh, Beth. Geeky Beth. I wonder why you've called yourself Geeky Beth. Well, Geeky Beth, you want to know how long they sleep for. The answer is almost as long as Byron sleeps for during the day. It's about 20 hours. Byron sleeps for 22 hours of the day, and these lions sleep for 20 hours of the day, plus minus. I'm, of course, being very nasty to Byron, who, of course, is not on drive to defend himself. So they do sleep a great deal, as do all the cats out here. Lions, I would have said about 18 hours or so, but certainly less than leopards, at least than lions, and they are much more prepared to move around during the day, so they sleep much more intermittently. Cheetah, I would say, yeah, probably about the same. Wild dogs sleep a good deal during the day and at night. So all of the carnivores, of course, because of their diets, must sleep quite a lot. The wind is coming up horribly, so I think we're in for a bit of a sort of blustery evening. David has already got the presenter light on so that my visage might not be dark and unpleasant. And yet we're not yet at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Gosh, that was exciting, wasn't it, David? One lion got up, walked over, and lay down again. Our cup runneth over. Our cup runneth over so much that I think we should go around to the other side of the lions and have a look and see what they look like asleep from the other side. As I said, I didn't think we were going to have very long with them, but I'm sitting here, no one else seems to have arrived other than Ryan from Arathusa. He came to have a look, and then the other two from Arathusa are coming this way, apparently. Anyway, so we'll just enjoy them for now. Ooh, this is very exciting. Tristan has got some real action on foot.
We do indeed, James. So we're sitting here and we are watching a buffalo bull that's lying down. Now the buffalo is very difficult to see. It's in the thicket in front of us, but it is turning because there's an elephant coming from our right. Now there's a young bull elephant, so we're going to have to be just a little bit careful here, because with the way the wind is blowing towards us, so the wind is in our favor, but the elephant could theoretically come straight down this road and towards where we are. So we're going to just try and reposition and try and get ourselves into a different area. So I think let's just go this way a little bit. So what we're going to try and do is get ourselves some cover, because with this we don't want to be too out in the open. Obviously we've got the buffalo on one side and the elephant slowly coming up this way, so we're going to try and position ourselves that we can still see the ellie coming, as well as be able to keep an eye on the buffalo as well, because between the two of them we don't want to get sandwiched in between, because then we've got nowhere to go. So we're trying to utilize cover like this to be able to watch what's going on, and we're going to try and stay as still and as quiet as possible, because as the elephant's going to come past, we're going to have to be very quiet, otherwise it's going to hear us. So what I want to try and do is just see if we've got a view of him. So it looks like he's cut off a little bit, which is good news, because otherwise we were going to get sandwiched a little bit. So Herbie can see that he's just moving away now in the opposite direction, which is good. I was a bit worried that he was going to come straight up the road, which would have been very difficult for us, because we would have really battled to have found somewhere to have been safe. But isn't that amazing to have two of the big five on foot in such close proximity? Is really quite incredible. So we can come out a little bit now and see if we can see our buffalo. Now, the buffalo is really tough to see. It's basically just behind the thicket, and they're doing what buffaloes do best, is that they're lying very low and they're sitting very, very quietly. And if you had to walk here and you weren't paying attention, you would walk straight into that buffalo and you wouldn't even see it. And they often will hear you coming and they sit very, very quietly and they wait for you to get very, very close. And then from there they can be quite aggressive towards you. So that's why you've got to pay very good attention to what you're doing. And it was amazing because we were walking down the road and Herbie stopped us and he said, "No, I can hear something," and there was a car in the distance, so it was difficult to hear what was going on, but luckily we then were able to see what was going on. Now Taylor apparently has got something unbelievable, so let's quickly go across to Taylor, who is going to be very excited.
I kid you not, we're going to try and find it again. I just saw a caracal. I was on the road. It's just gone off into the bushes here. We're not going anywhere until we find this thing. It went here. Now, they're exceptionally shy cats. They're small. My heart is racing. Where is it? Where is it? I cannot believe what I've just seen. That was unbelievable. That is the first caracal I've ever seen in the Sabi Sand, and one for a very long time. We're not going anywhere. I'm going to find it. It was just here. My goodness, I just about got tears in my eyes. I was so excited. It moved around somewhere in here. VM, can we maybe just scan into these bushes? Because what I think would have happened, it didn't run away, which was quite interesting. It sort of just slinked off the side of the road. Oh my goodness, please, please, please give me another view of this. Will be amazing. Let me go back again. I'm sure it's just sitting in these shrubs just next to us. Oh my goodness. VM, you didn't see it, eh? Oh, at first I thought it was a steenbok standing on the road, and then I looked at it and I went, no, that's a bit long for a steenbok. Let's just sit here for a moment. Let's just see if we can get another view. Now, of course, you're going to have to be patient with us, but I can't tell you how excited I just was. I'm going to see if we can see where it went. And I didn't want to race into this area because I didn't want to push it away, but that was outstanding, and I'm so sad I didn't get VM's attention earlier, because VM's very quick on the ball. But I genuinely thought I'd seen a steenbok, and then the way that it started walking, I was like, no ways, and I could not believe my eyes that I'd just seen a caracal. That was amazing. That's not a caracal, that looks like a termite mound of some sort. You know what we're going to do? This is a special sighting. I'm going to off-road here, just in case it has gone a little bit further back, so now we're going to keep a close eye. Can you see it? VM says you can see it. Oh, no ways. There's the caracal. No ways. This is also known as an African lynx. I think this could be the first. Have you ever seen a caracal before, Louise? Well, VM, you are an absolute biscuit. Let me go forward again. The camera's going to... It's somewhere in the grass there. Can you see it again? I think it's slinked off a bit further away. But you did, everybody, I'm sure you got a quick glimpse of it. We'll try and see if we can get a better view. They're amazing. Okay, where did it go? Let's go in, VM. Let's go and have a little look. That is incredible. Now you can all believe me, because I'm sure there was a couple of you that were doubting and saying, no, Taylor's just imagining things again, which I do often. Oh my goodness, how exciting is this? This is incredible, because I was convinced that there were no caracal in the Sabi Sand. I genuinely was convinced, because I searched and searched and searched for these things, looked for tracks, never saw tracks ever. It's gone just in the grass somewhere up ahead. We'll see if hopefully we get another view. Come on, caracal. That is amazing. And I'll tell you a little bit about it. I just want to try and get a good view. I'm going to go under here. Let's just have a little scan here. I'm going to stand up just so that I can try and see above the long grass. Oh my goodness, VM, how excited are you? This is incredible. They are possibly my favorite small cats. I love servals. Absolutely love servals. However, a caracal or an African lynx is just something completely different. I'm standing up, as you can see. I'm not tall. I'm just trying to figure out where it's gone. Right, let me go. Just thinking, if I go a little bit further forward, it wasn't moving away fast, Evian. It was just slinking away, which is good. I'm glad that it didn't run, like go into a full bolt, which is really good. Now it's very tight here, but we're not gonna do anything if I drive like that. We'll try our best. Now we must remember the spot, because Caracal will regularly visit the same spot. Oh my goodness, this is so exciting. My heart is absolutely racing at the moment. Oh, hang on, that's not good. My earpiece is now being pulled out. Let me bring that here. Just going to check, and of course, again, you just have to bear with us as we search here. Let's have a little scan through the bushes. Very camouflaged, as you saw, that sort of rust color. Not a particularly large cat. I would say, if I were to try and describe how big it is in terms of a dog, if any of you know, like a Jack Russell with long legs, so almost like a fox terrier, I suppose you could say. But Caracal are incredible cats. For their size, if they were the size of a lion, they'd be much stronger than lions. They've got massive power, or big shoulders, big hindquarters, which they will use to push themselves off of the ground and leap into the air. They are specialists at catching birds. They'll catch rodents, also very good, of course, stalking through the long grass like like normal cats are. Now, Kate, you're wondering if it left any tracks. Unfortunately not. That ground over there is clay, hard clay at the moment, so we won't see anything. That's what I first thought, to double check my mind, and then as we drove up there, it's just like concrete just about. Oh my goodness, this is amazing. It's not far. I don't think it has gone far. I think it is literally just sitting in the grass, hiding away from us. Oh my goodness. You know what? And it just shows you to trust your instinct as a guide. Even if you're uncertain, you think you saw something, go back, triple check, quadruple check, put the camera on it straight away, because you never know. But how absolutely amazing was that? I can't tell you the adrenaline rush that I get from something like that I haven't seen in such a long time. That was fantastic. Oh my goodness. VM, what do you think? You think it's gone? I think it's lurking too. It's going a bit further. Let's see. Now, for something special like this, you're most definitely allowed to off-road. The difference was if that Caracal had gone into a full sprint, I would have completely left it. Larry, thank you for being on my side. You said that one Caracal is worth 10 birds. That's fantastic. My goodness, I think I'll happily lose the bird challenge. I'll lose the bird challenge for the next 25 million years if it means that I can get a good view, or to get you all a good view of this Caracal. Now it's tough here. VM, should I look on the right and you look on the left? What we'll try and do is, because if we both keep scanning either side, we're going to potentially miss it. Now I can't... Hey? You think you can see something in there? We'll just keep searching. VM said it looked like you could see something sort of watching us in the grass, and that's exactly what it will do. This is the perfect height for a Caracal. It completely disappears in this long grass, and it could just well be sitting underneath the shrub. It could be right next to the car, sitting completely motionless. But one thing that's really amazing with a Caracal, and I don't know if you got to see it because it was such a quick shot as it sort of started slinking through the grass, is that on the tips of their ears they've got those beautiful big black tufts, which is where they get the name the African lynx from. It's typical for lynxes to have that big tuft of hair. Oh my goodness. Where did you go, you beauty? Now, Reese, you're wondering, where do Caracal hide during the day? Literally just how we've spotted it at the moment. Underneath a shrub with some long grass. No, I got excited. It's just a brown leaf in the grass. So in this long grass, the Caracal really doesn't need to put much effort into hiding. Underneath a shrub, fallen logs, big marulas that elephants have pushed over, anything like that. So natural cavities, or, well, just under shrubs and things like that. Now, VM's also standing up, scanning around. I can't believe that, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad that we got a glimpse of it, because I can tell you right now, no one would have believed me that I said that I saw a caracal. I think something special like this in the Sabi Sand, they're not really that prolific. You've really got to have evidence and make sure that you've got your story straight. And I actually got nervous at one point. I thought maybe it was a Steenbok. And I was like, no. Started doubting myself. It can't be. That was incredible. I got so excited you heard my voice when I said to VM Caracal. I don't think I've ever gone so high-pitched in my entire life. I didn't know I could reach that pitch. It was actually quite impressive. Oh, my goodness. I think this caracal... let's move out. We'll come back here a bit later. Now, James, you were wondering if there's a size difference between a female and male caracal. If I can get the car into reverse, I don't want to be stuck here. What we're going to do is we're going to try and go out, and then I think we'll come back again a little bit later. This is a good spot, like I said. So, James, there is definitely a size difference. Males are bigger than females. The last caracal that I saw prior to this was actually mom and kittens, which was really amazing. Can you believe that? I think there were 3 little ones. That was really cool. Females are slightly, not too much smaller, but you can definitely see again, like what we see with the male lions, just not as sort of fit, not as big muscles and big and strong again, like a stallion, big neck. You just see the male animals out here have got quite a bit more muscle tone to them, though the girls are just lacking that. She's just a little bit more slight. Oh my goodness, how fantastic was that? I really hope that you all enjoyed that little glimpse just as we did, as much as we did. Wow. So we'll have a quick little look around here again, but I think we'll come back again a bit later this evening. Let's go to Tristan and have a look. He's also having an adrenaline rush of his own.
We are indeed. You can see that these buffalo have gotten up, but now there is a bit of a wind swirling, so we have to be very, very, very quiet. You can see the buffalo lifting their heads. So I'm going to try and keep quiet because they've noticed us, but this is about as exhilarating as it gets. And you can see that there is a female inside there, so the female is the one closest to us with the male at the back. One male's already walked off, and it seems that there's another 3 or 4 that are still lying there. But like I say, the wind is really, really swirling, which is not good for us. These buffalo are picking us up, so I think what we're going to do is probably move out. I don't think we can stay here for much longer because they are starting to notice that we're here and we don't have that much cover, so we're trying to hide ourselves as best as possible, but we're in an area that's got very little cover, so we're going to try and see if we can just maybe start moving away, because like I say, you can see behind us that these are very, very alert to our presence. But I think it's time to go. So let's go, Craig, but nice and slow and small footsteps. Now, the nice thing is that we're going to try and make our way out as slowly and as quietly as possible, but that is the most exhilarating thing you can do, is get onto foot and get close to some buffalo. It really is quite a feeling. You feel like every bit of your body is prickling with excitement. It really is amazing. But while we make our way out, let's go across to James and see how he's doing with his lions.
Well, that is very exciting indeed. Buffalo on foot, very exciting. Elephant on foot, equally exciting. Caracal, stupendously exciting. Very good stuff. I hope you saw the caracal. In fact, you must have. I think that's a first, isn't it, for us? We have got a zebra over here. Well, we've got a number of them. But the one just over here is very severely injured. And originally I thought this was our injured zebra, but it isn't. This is a young one, probably about a year old, and you can see there, and I can't tell if that's the bone. I don't think it's the bone. I think that's an exposed piece of nervous tissue, or maybe a bit of fat. Can't be fat. But the zebra is walking okay. So what I want to try and do, I'm going to give them another 2 seconds to move closer towards us, or a bit longer than that, simply because this angle is so very nice. It's nice to look up at them as opposed to down normally. And we'll just go and see if we can't get a closer look at how severe that injury is, because it is not nice. To the back hock, what would be the equivalent of your ankle joint, and the skin has been pulled away from the front, exposing the ankle. Now, I mean, there are a few of these yearling zebra that are continuously trying to suckle on the mares, and they are not particularly pleased with it. And you can see that little one just trying to get in there close to his mum. The one in the middle is the one with the problem. Slightly older than the one scratching himself now. And obviously that leg is probably being it's probably painful, and I suspect also it's being irritated by the number of flies there are around here. Now, I really can't see how that could have been done but by lions, unless they were running away from lions and caught onto a zebra wood or something, a zebra wood stump in the night. You can see the belly also has been torn. But it is a very slight limp. It's not a major limp at all. And I just wonder if that little foal isn't going to be okay. Trying to stay close to mum. She's been trying to suckle for the last sort of 10 minutes while we've been sat here. Yeah, I know, he's looking sore, obviously. Come on, turn around for us. Now, what does everyone think there? Do you think that's bone? I don't think that's bone. What do you think, Dave? You do? I just can't believe that an animal could walk with its bone exposed like that. Let's go round the side and see if we can't get a slightly closer look. I don't know what else it could be other than bone. Yes, they're nerve fibers, but I mean, you wouldn't expect them to be that thick. Needed to reintroduce myself. David is on camera. All of these things you see have come out of our television stuff, so we're supposed to be much more professional about them. I'm still getting used to it. Right, well there it is. A little bit further forward. I think it's... There we go. Get out of there. Thank you. We'll just keep looking. And the lions are not far from here. I mean, the lions are probably 400 meters, quarter of a mile away. Yeah, you see, that was my initial opinion too. A lot of viewers saying that they think that's tendon or connective tissue of some kind. Yeah, that's what I think it is. In fact, it almost must be, because the bone runs around down the back. Move your foot. That's it. Yeah, it's not bone. That's a relief. Good. So I think, again, in the absence of further molestation from the lions, that little zebra will be fine. I think she'll heal. Little he? Yeah, little he. Little colt. And of course, I mean, if you're a colt, that attack to the belly can be quite a lot more serious than it can for a female, who of course doesn't have sensitive bits quite so far towards the belly. But I think that the lions missed that. Oof. And they just get on with it, don't they? Walking along, shaking the flies off, eating the grass, walking towards where the lions were and still are. I mean, if I was a lioness and I saw this, I saw that zebra hobbling along, it would be an enticement to attack. And it's not only if I was a lioness, lionesses absolutely would do that. They notice weakness and they exploit it. They know what a young animal is versus an adult. They know weakness and sickness and limping. It's one of the reasons we apparently as human beings look so vulnerable at night to predators. if they can see we can't see anything, we walk into stuff and sort of potter around and blindly. Hello, Michael. Like I was saying, they're about 400 meters or a quarter of a mile from the Birmingham boys, and they're moving closer. Can't just quite see them. I'll pull up onto the top of the ridge here. And then see them. Let's just go up on top here. Yeah, guys, you want to go the other way. You don't want to be going this way. No, we can't actually see them from here, but what you can see is the tree that they're lying in front of. That big tree. No, not that one. Well, I mean, sort of, but just the really big one next to where the air control tower used to be. Yeah, they're pretty much there in the foreground. So flat that they're fast, they're invisible. So that's really rather interesting. I don't, they'll pick them up before long, but if the lionesses, like I say, were to see that youngster hobbling along, even though they're quite full, or very full, they could still be in quite a lot of trouble. Anyway, there's a beautiful view off to the west there. And I'm just wondering, I think that's pretty much due west, isn't it? I'm just going to get my compass out, because there's a rocky knoll over there, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's Impala, which is on Londolozi, but it shouldn't be. No, it can't be, because that's due west of us. There must be another rocky knoll. Can you see it there, David? Go to the right from where you are. There. Can you super zoom in on that? Certainly looks like it. Yeah, I think it is. That is Impala. So that's interesting. I'm obviously slightly disorientated. No, I'm not, because we're facing due west, which means that Londolozi must be slightly differently orientated from the way I thought it was. Anyway, that's where that is. And just below it, or not too far from there, is the Sand River. Fascinating. Now, Vic, you say, did the other injured zebra die? Vic, no. The other well, we don't know, but we would presumably have found it being eaten by hyenas or lions. And the Nkuhuma Pride, as far as we are aware, is on in the Mandileti, and also the Styx Pride are here. So unless they devoured that zebra on Djuma yesterday and then came across here, I would imagine that it is still alive. But I have not seen, interestingly, I have not seen the... What am I going on about? I have not seen that McCurdy-Hurdy, which of course contains that injured zebra. I haven't seen it today. And then, of course, hopefully, they will all look out with each other, because, of course, the impala were shouting at the lion, so perhaps the zebra will listen to them and not go there. Now we're going to go across to T-Bomb McCaracal on Cheetah Plains to find out if she has still got her caracal.
T-Bomb McCaracal. Wow, James, you're always on a roll with the nicknames, aren't you? Sadly, we don't. What I thought we would do is, I thought, let's give that caracal a bit of time to relax. It's probably never seen a vehicle before, or had very little interaction with, of course, any interaction with the cars. So I think it's important that we don't pressurize it too much. It obviously was a little bit uncomfortable with us. Not too uncomfortable that it sprinted away. Oh, hang on, let's do some birding. Come on, bunting, land. Nope, not going to land. But that was a cinnamon-breasted bunting that was on the ground, flying away. Oh, hello, dove. So I think what we'll do... Liam, where are we? I don't know if we're still on Cheetah Plains anymore. This place looks different. Oh my goodness, I don't know what road I'm driving on. Let me go into my maps quickly. Just make sure that we're still here. But, I don't know where we are now. Oh no, we're still here. Okay. I'm just panicking for a moment because this area looks so different all of a sudden. So what we'll do is we'll go straight back to that spot and we'll bring the spotlight out. You can spot like caracals. They're actually more nocturnal than anything. But like I said, I have seen them just as many times as at night as I have seen them during the day. So I suppose they're a bit of both. And that's what you sort of get with smaller predators, especially with a cat family. African wildcats I've seen out during the day. I'm so confused as to where we are, Liam. Do you know where we are? It says, everything looks so different, doesn't it? No, we're still in the right spot. I just don't think I've been down here for such a long time. Let's hope my GPS is still working. That does look like plains down there, huh? Oh, that's... Okay, no, we're not lost. We're just going down a road that both Liam and I haven't been down for a very long time. Oh, the panic that set into my heart there. Okay, no, we're fine. Well, that's alright. Jean, you're wondering what a caracal sounds like. I have no idea. I don't think I've ever heard a caracal make a noise in my entire life. I've heard them hiss, but I haven't actually heard them make any other sound. So they're particularly secretive creatures. I've been very fortunate just to see them so often in the Eastern Cape of South Africa. Like I said, we used to see them all the time. Males, females, little ones, juveniles. And I reckon the one that we just saw now, I'm actually wondering if it wasn't perhaps a juvenile, because it didn't look particularly big. And maybe that's why it didn't run away from us. I'm completely shocked, because when you see a caracal, the first thing they do is bolt. Unless it's a habituated caracal. Even in the Eastern Cape, we used to see them often, and they used to well, my goodness, I can't even talk. The adrenaline is still pumping through my body. But even then, they would still be quite skittish and move away as soon as they saw a vehicle. I mean, I don't think I ever had a sighting where they sat still for very long. And that one just sort of slunk off. So it was sort of the attitude of a youngster that didn't quite know what it was. It's like when you see baby steenbok and komendeka is a very similar thing. Is they often, the first thing is to actually just sit and freeze and hope that they don't get spotted. And it did look quite small. It didn't look particularly big. So that's quite exciting. I actually want to just go back there right now, but I know I mustn't. I must just give it a bit of time just to sort of relax and recuperate. And I'm sure it also needs to catch its breath after that very exciting moment. Right, let's have a look here. I think I've just seen some white-winged widowbirds. No, what is flying around? Now, those things that are flying around at the moment, a lot of them are white-winged widowbirds, and I suspect that it's probably the females, the brown-coloured ones. Good going, VM. The black ones are the boys, all flying about. Look at that go! That's amazing! Aren't they beautiful? VM, this is fantastic camera work. Really, really incredible. These birds are flying so quickly. I don't know how he's keeping up with them. It's like trying to follow racehorses. That's what I feel. Or no, actually trying to follow a cheetah at full sprint. Oh my goodness, look at that. And then they change direction again. That is spectacular. Also, I haven't seen so many white-winged widowbirds together. Normally you just see the one or two of them. There's actually a whole lot of them sitting on that. You see that little shrub just ahead of us? The only little shrub standing in the middle. There they all sit. And there are the girls. They're obviously trying to get the attention of the ladies. This is fantastic. What a cool afternoon it's been already. My goodness, this has been spectacular, and that's what just shows you I did not come out on safari today thinking that I was going to see a caracal. That was honestly the absolute last thing I thought I was going to see. Amazing. Thank you, widowbirds. There's another one for the list to add. Now, Right, okay, I'll get you, JC. I know you asked a question, but I'll come back to your question. Tristan is also doing a bit of birding, so I suppose we better give him a bit of camera time.
Well, welcome back, guys, and we are doing some birding. There's a little 3-banded plover that is skirting the edges of Treehouse Dam. So for those of you that have just joined us, my name is Tristan, and on camera I've got Craig, and we are looking around for birds. We've challenged Taylor to a birding quiz, but she's completely ruined the whole thing because she went and found a caracal. And I just say that because I'm absolutely jealous. In the time that I've spent in the Sabi Sands, that's the one animal that I haven't seen, and I've been looking for them everywhere, so I'm super jealous of her, but she's done a really good job, and that's amazing sighting. So for all of you that got to see that caracal, I'm very jealous indeed, and really cool to see. But we're going to forge ahead with our birding and try and see if we can find some more. There is that 3-banded plover that we saw just racing around the edges of the water. Then on the opposite side of the dam we have a blacksmith lapwing, which is the black and white bird that is just on the edge of the water there as well. Always associated near and around water, so you see them quite a bit. Now if you come to these pans, these are the best places to do birding. Since we've been here, we've seen some common waxbills which unfortunately flew away, and then in the top of a tree on the other side of the dam there are some yellow-fronted canaries as well that are just sitting in the top and trying to stay still in this wind that is howling through this area. So they're having a tough time on top of that tree trying to balance. I did also see a red-billed buffalo weaver earlier, but I see it's flown away now, which is not ideal. So that's a few more to at least catch up to Taylor's list. I think she's on 7 still. I don't know, maybe she's got more. She had the white-winged widowbird, so she's probably on 8 now, and I think we're about 6, so we're going to have to see if we can find some more. It's getting quite tough because it's starting to get quite dark, so I think most of the birds are going to start looking for cover quite early tonight. There was 3 other birds that we could have got here, but they all flew away when we came on foot, which is the nature of being on foot, as birds tend to fly a little bit. But I'm back with my butterflies. They are still in their chrysalis stage. They have not done anything. There's not too much changes here. Everybody is still sleeping, and on a day like today, wouldn't you want to sleep? It would be the perfect place to sleep. So you can see here they're just dangling from their tree. Like I said, I am trying to monitor them and come every day so that I can see how they go. The one interesting thing about it is watching how much the wings grow. So every day that I've come, the wing sections get bigger and bigger and bigger. Now you can see the wings, those are the wings just there on the edge. So those are getting bigger and bigger every day that I come, which is really cool. And this one is interesting me because if you have a look, there's almost like a feathery substance that's come out the end there, and I have no idea what that is. I've been trying to look on the others. None of the others have that, so that's not where it's an anchoring point. So I'm not quite sure what's happened there. Maybe this particular one unfortunately has done a damage to itself, because that one has not grown nearly as much as the others. The others have gotten a bit bigger and fatter, and they've kind of developed a little bit more than what that one has. So it'll be interesting to see as time goes by, when the others hatch, if that one actually does come out and sort of fly away and be an adult butterfly. But I really want to know what they are. I've checked everywhere. I've gone through Google and gone through every caterpillar image I can find for South Africa, and I cannot find that particular type of caterpillar. I'm sure it's one of the acreas, I just don't know which one. It's really tough. Unfortunately, we don't have a very extensive guide of caterpillars in South Africa. There's a lot of butterfly books and moth books, but it's all adults. They very seldom actually show the caterpillars unless they're very brightly colored or they've got unique markings. So unfortunately with these guys, we don't see too much of what's actually going on with them. So it's difficult to ID them, but I'm hoping that in time, as they come out, maybe if we can be here and we can see them emerging, that we'll be able to know what they are for future reference, because it's really interesting. I've never seen these on an open section of a branch like that in this area, so I really want to know what they are. Now, talking about birds and our bird challenge, Taylor McCurdy is just forging ahead. She's got all the luck today, and let's go across to her and see what bird is making all the noise.